and kids are entitled to be a child. We on side government allow kids to have a chance to be a kid. First, now I will be stating a key definitions. I will state the parameter. I will state our stakeholders. I will state the status quo. I will state the burden for side government and side opposition. Firstly, the key definitions. What is the definition of a student who is smart? A student who is smart is a student who is able to score full straight A's. Secondly, now onto our parameter. The parameter will be globally. Our stakeholders are the students who are being affected by this current change. The status quo. Students are sent to gifted educations which will make them selfish. This will be further explained later. Now, onto our burden. Side government's burden is to prove that all gifted education programs for primary and secondary school students should be ended, while on side opposition's burden is to prove benefits that they can receive continuing such systems when it causes so much stress in daily life for students who are being affected by these current affairs. Now, onto a few preempts, Chair. Firstly, a side opposition might state that the school is not good enough for these students when you can simply just bump up students to further grades. Example, young Sheldon. This point will be further explained and clarified later in my Prime Minister's speech, Deputy Prime Minister's speech. The second PM, this can be a form of motivation. If you were to join schools and then you were to get rejected, but firstly, it may be motivation for some, but for others, it will cause depression. Imagine if you want to get into the program, yet you are told that you are not good enough. Imagine what you would feel as a kid. Now, onto my factual arguments, Chair. The first one is the pressure of performance. As a child, they are in the stage of their lives where it is the most important for them. It is the stage of their lives they need to go through character development and build up in experiences for the long run. Why does this matter? We tell you two things in our case. One, the thing that these programs these programs, students will be pressured to succeed and will be isolated from their friends due to the pressure. Two, we tell you that the students will gain an unhealthy mindset of themselves being legislated smarter than everyone else and also make everyone feel inferior to our side. We migrate these concern which can affect a child's life immensely. How, as the Prime Minister, I will talk about how students is in gifted promise programs are pressured to excel in my Deputy Prime Minister's speech. We talk about how the students have a major superiority complex now. Firstly, on the pressure, gifted students in status quo already have strict parents. They already have high expectations, and their childhood is already stifled due to them spending most of their lives with their faces in books. These children already don't have much of a childhood, yet on upside, they multiply the problem tenfold. As a child in gifted programs, my burdens, homeworks, and difficult levels in my school is increasing. They have the image of a prodigy. They are expected to live up to and are burdened by it every day. We on side government believe that we should not inferior this pressure to students who are in the stage of their lives where they should be children. They should be running and playing with their friends and not have a care in the world with no stress. Yet they say that this problem on upside is further magnified by the factor that the students problem has close to no control over their life due to their strict parents who will force their kids to attend programs anyway. On our side, we give a child a chance to be a child. Here, isolated from friends. Now, this brings me to my second point. How on only not only are child on upside pressure, but they are isolated from their friends. Based on my point about how the students have no control in whether they are attempted the gifted programs or not. Most of the time, the strict parents will force them to attend anyway, essentially forcing them to be separated from their friends. In conclusion, we take this debate without even having to make our deputy prime minister and government whip to come up and speak. I am so proud. I am so proud to propose. With this, I will end my speech.
Great. I thank first proposition for that fine speech. Just a reminder, speeches are 4 minutes long. Please keep an eye on your timer. First opposition.
Sorry, how long was the speech?
Yeah, it wasn't a comment on your speech. I was just giving a general reminder.
Okay.
Okay, so while there are valid concerns about the potential for stress in gifted education programs, these issues can actually be effectively addressed through proper program design and support structures. The benefits of gifted education often outweighs the risks when the right approach is taken. So one of the main criticisms is that the accelerated pace and advanced curriculum of gifted education programs can be overwhelming for some students and can cause stress. But however, uh, this can be solved by ensuring that the program progression is thoughtfully paced and with the full support and scaffolding provided. So gifted students often thrive when given the opportunity to dive deeper into subjects they are passionate about, and but this needs to be balanced with measures to manage workload and stress. And another concern is the social and emotional challenges that gifted students may face, such as feeling isolated and misunderstood by their peers. But many high quality gifted education programs actively foster a sense of community and provide opportunities for social emotional learning. So, so gifted students can be encouraged to form supportive peer groups and learn strategies for navigating social dynamics. So additionally, the argument that gifted education leads to excessive pressure and burnouts oversimplifies these issues. With the right guidance and coping with mechanisms, gifted students can learn to manage stress and avoid becoming overwhelmed. So providing access to counseling, time management training, and stress reduction techniques can empower these students to thrive under the demands of advanced coursework. So in my opinion, uh, this house should not cancel the gifted education, because there's one advantage is this advantage to complete a course sooner. So the primary advantage of finishing a course faster is like the key benefit is to improve learning efficiency. So by dedicating yourself to a course and completing it sooner, so you demonstrated abilities to stay focused and manage your time effectively and maximize your knowledge retention. So also this type of disciplined approach not only shortens the learning curve, but also ensures you emerge with a stronger command of the subject matter. And while completing a course ahead of schedule also enables you to turning additional certificates or degrees and other criteria earlier. And this can be tremendously advantageous, as it allows you to get a head start on building your resume and applying like for further the jobs, etc. So employers and academic institutions highly value individuals who can achieve their education milestones in an expect like in an expect like in an expedited manner.
Hi, I thank first op for that fine speech. I invite second proposition.
Can you give me a few moments to uh, fix my speech first?
Sure. But just to note, when you are unmuting and speaking, there is an echo.
Is there an echo now?
Nope, it's working now.
Am I audible at this level?
Yep.
Okay, my speech will start in 3, 2, 1. Panel, side opposition arguments have been completely insignificant, and I'll absolutely tear the case down, and I'll explain why. I'll start with my rebuttals before moving on to my one argument. Now, for my rebuttals, my first rebuttal is when first speaker of side opposition has said that there will be therapy and so the student from distress. However, firstly, this therapy they cost money, and the therapy costs money. Just because they're smart doesn't mean they'll be rich. Also, there's poor students who are also there's poor students who are also who are also being pressured to study well without having any money to have to have to pay for therapy or to have to seek professional help. And secondly, this the therapy won't solve the expectations that you're always expected to achieve. Yes, the therapy it might help calm you down. It might help you think, giving you another solution, but it won't solve what you can what you're supposed to achieve. What's the target given to you by by your parents. Now my second rebuttal sorry. Now, my second rebuttal is that is that what first speaker of side opposition said that the gifted programs will give the students more chances to study. But is this really worth it for the pressure and the isolation that is present on your side? Because clearly, I don't think it will be. So what that you so what the gifted programs can give more chances to study. Normal programs, normal school sessions also give these gifted students more chance to study. Now I'm moving on to my argument. My main argument is that these gifted students will feel superior to the others, and the bad students will feel inferior. This is true because an example of this is a TV show called Young Sheldon, which is about a very gifted boy, and when he moved to college at a very young age, he felt that he was better than everybody. He talks to other students who are older than him like he is smarter than them. He talks to professors like he's on a higher level than them. He's a very, very arrogant person. And if we were to have these type of gifted people, if we were to have these gifted programs and people like Sheldon join, imagine the insults you will give to older people who didn't get in, and maybe even like just did not make the cut because there was not enough people, for example. As you can see in the show, you can clearly see the way that Sheldon treats others who he thinks are low lives. Even as he's in college, he gets this superiority complex and treats others as inferior. Sheldon gets this overwhelming mindset that he's way smarter than others, as you can see when he even disrespects professors who have PhDs, professors who even have Nobel Peace Prize awards. Another reason why this is true Another reason why this is true is because these students wouldn't feel equal to each other. Kings aren't equal to peasants. The gifted students would think they're the kings, when the students which are maybe average or just didn't make the cut to go into these programs will be the will be peasants, they would think. The gifted students wouldn't want to say they are equal to a student which are dumber than them. They would use it as an advantage to maybe mock them or to make fun of them. This is important because one, gifted students will feel they're on top of the world. They will feel they're on top of the world, whereas the students who weren't able to make it will feel sad because a 10-year-old boy beat them to it. On Gov's side, we believe that the attitude, on proposition side, sorry, we believe that the attitude and character of the students is more important than the academic excellence. Now let's do a simple comparative here. On upside, on opposition side, they might separate the gifted from the average, yet this gives both parties of students an unhealthy mindset of thinking you're amazing versus a mindset where you are turned away based on the fact that you aren't good. Number two, gifted students will feel they are better and smarter than other average students, and this will create a difference in class. Superior students will look down on the students, and the average students will feel mad or angry because they will think these superior students are know-it-all. This will create a conflict. And imagine you want to achieve more heights in your life that you aren't even given this chance because they tell you that you're not good enough. And in conclusion, this debate has already been won by side proposition. And with that, I would like to end my speech. Proud to propose. Thank you.
Great, I thank second proposition for that fine speech. I invite second opposition.
Okay, so I will start and 3, 2, 1. Okay, first I would like to start a rebuttal. So the first the second proposition said that the therapy that gifted education may cause like mental illness and maybe like need therapy, and the therapy costs like money, but this is not totally true, as like not all of those gifted education need to lead to like make students mentally ill, and also as also from that gifted education they can also manage their time, and also it helps students to learn to manage their lessons and also their times, and how they are going to like attend gifted education and also general education, and how to manage their stress and prevent them from being mentally ill. So it can actually train students to how to manage their stress, and also the second proposition also said that it will not solve their expectations. However, I think that gifted education can help the students to help the gifted and talented people to help their country in the long term, as gifted education is programs that encourage students to focus on those challenging questions and also difficult things since their primary and secondary school, and they get to improve their skills and also learn about different knowledge, and also all parts of and learns ahead of other students since their primary and secondary school, and this skills and also their knowledge can help them contribute to the and can help contribute when they are like helping their countries and also help to improve their countries. And also I don't think that I as gifted education can also let students choose which subjects um they would like to study on. Students can choose the places where they are better in, and also places where they're subjects where they're good at, and also they can develop their talents at their young age, and also develop it so that it can be beneficial in the it can be beneficial when in the future where they started going into the society where they can contribute to the society. And um, also maybe you need want to say that like gifted education costs fees, and also may not have a very good result. I think that gifted education can help students to learn and develop their talents at a young age, and also um, develop their mindsets, and also um, help to develop their talents, and um, teach them to contribute their society, so it can benefit themselves. And um, it may it um, it may not lead to any mental illnesses, or and it can actually benefit themselves. So I'll end my speech.
Great, I thank second opposition for a fine speech. I invite third prop.
Audible. Am I audible?
Yep.
Um, am I audible at this volume?
Yes, you are.
Okay. My speech will start. Wait, oh wait, my slides. My speech will start in 3, 2, 1. Chair, opposition side has already lost the second that they bring up their only response to our point about children being stressed, and they bring up the only point, which is therapy and time and stress management. Their case is such a mess because they keep saying that gifted students will have more opportunities and materials, but they fail to ensure that the students will have good character in the future. This won't be, and if since they don't have a comparative for this won't be beneficial at all. On their side, they fail to recognize the problem of students in gifted programs being pressured and having a superiority complex. On our side, we recognize the problem and recognize that these gifted students are pressured in status quo, and that's why we on our side want to mitigate this stress. Now, before I get into my rebuttals, I would like to first call out the opposition has no mechanism on how they will identify quote-unquote gifted students. They don't even have a cohesive case, and that's why their case completely false. Number one, on my rebuttals, they claim that on their side, gifted students will get more knowledge and more opportunities to study. Number one, they have absolutely no comparative for why on their side this is more important than the consequences that we have stated on every single speech on our side. They have never given a comparative. They have never told us how it's more likely to happen, or how it's trade-off. Now, for this response, I would like to first state what my first two speakers have said. There are two types of students in gifted programs. Number one, the type that is stressed and overburdened because of the high amount of expectations that are placed on them. Number two, they are the type of people who think they're gods, and they think they are amazing prodigies. They think they are better than everyone else. We believe that these two students do not deserve the right to act this way, and this is why on our side we mitigate that. Now, No matter how gifted these people are, they deserve the right to have a childhood. And no matter how gifted these people are, they do not have the right to think they are better than everyone else. You have not told us how this is number one not going to happen on your side, but and you haven't told us why number two your side's benefits of having more knowledge and more opportunities outweighs the fact that these little children have their childhoods taken away, and number two, these little children have a superiority complex. You have never claimed why your side is better. Now they now back to their point about how they can just learn stress and time management and they can just go to therapy. They try to tell you that there is no stress for students and that students will be so happy to study because they go therapy and because they can manage their time and their stress. We tell you that this is completely unlikely and completely exaggerated on their side because therapy cannot solve all the expectations that your parents give you. Therapy cannot solve the fact that you have many homework every day because of the fact that you're smart. Therapy does not solve the fact that you think you're better than everyone else because you got into college at 10 years old. Now, moving on to my clashes. Number one, who gives a better world for the gifted students? We tell you that in the future, not only have we on Gov side not only have a better world short term but also on long term. Because number one, in short term, we reduce the stress that these children have. We reduce the fact that they do not have a childhood. These gifted students already have strict parents, and now you guys are multiplying it and making sure that they have more expectations than ever. On our side, we make sure that they have a childhood. This is why we have a better world for gifted students on our side. Number two, in long term. In long term, you guys argue that we have smarter people. But do you really think this is very important? If those smart people have a superiority complex, thinking that they are better than everyone else, thinking that everyone else is dumb and only they can do this. These people that they produce in gifted programs I think they are so smart, and this is a completely unhealthy mindset that we do not support on Gov's side. Yet on their side, they downplay it and say that you can just go to therapy. Now, what about the best work for the people who are not gifted, the students who are not gifted? We believe that we also provide for them because they on our side do not feel inferior, and on their side they're just telling them they look dumb while the gifted students get to have all the glory in the world. That is why on our side, we clearly win this debate. They do not have a cohesive case, and we on our side benefit the most stakeholders, which is why we clearly win this debate. I'm so proud to propose.
Great. I thank third prop for that fine speech. I invite third prop.
So is it now my turn? Like third opposition. Like the final opposition summary. Okay, 3, 2, 1. So the opposition claimed that like gifted education programs do not offer meaningful opportunities and are not superior to the model is simply unfounded. So gifted students have like unique intellectual and academic needs that cannot be adequately met in a one-size-fits-all classroom. So gifted programs provide these exceptional learners with customized curriculum, advanced coursework, and specialized resources, and enrichment activities that expand their horizons and foster their full potential. So studies consistently show that gifted students who participate in these programs demonstrated higher economic achievement and greater intellectual engagement and enhanced social emotional development. Like unlike it says to be like to stress and the long-term benefits to both the individual students and society far outweigh the investment. And the superior outcomes achieved by gifted gifted program participants are clear testaments to the immense value and importance of nurturing the talents of our most exceptional studies. So my summary is that the proposition that gifted education programs can lead to stress and mental illness in
Right.
studies in students is simply not supported by the evidence. In fact, uh, numerous studies have shown that well-designed gifted programs can actually have a positive impact on the mental health and can be less stress and overall well-being of the exceptional learners. So, and one of the core benefits of gifted education that is provides students with the opportunity to learn and grow at a pace that matches their advanced intellectual abilities. Uh, Rather than holding them back or forcing them to conform or what like this curriculum, gifted programs allow these students to thrive academically and explore subjects that are geniusly passionate about. This level of engagement and intellectual stimulation is far more likely to promote positive mental health and outcomes than cause any undue stress or harm. Moreover, gifted education programs often incorporate targeted social emotional support and counseling to help students navigate the unique
Right.
challenges they may face. Whether it's developing coping mechanisms for perfectionism, fostering a sense of community, or providing guidance on navigating the social dynamics, these programs go to great lengths to ensure the holistic well-being of their students. So last, the academic benefits of gifted education are also well documented. So by challenging students with rigorous coursework, advanced learning opportunities, and opportunities for acceleration, these programs help gifted education reach their full academic potential. This not only enhances their knowledge and skills, but also prepares them for the demands of higher education and future careers. While it is true that the gifted education programs can be more resource intensive and costly than traditional education models, the long-term return on investment is undeniable. By nurturing the exceptional talents and abilities of these students, gifted programs are investing in the future leaders, innovators, and problem solvers who will shape our world. So thank you.
Great. I thank third opposition for that fine speech. I invite op reply.
Okay. I will start at 3, 2, 1. Okay. So I will start my summarize for what we've said in the debate. So firstly, we spend a lot of time talking about the mental well-being of students and does gifted program really have an influence on the students' mental well-being. So we definitely think that gifted program does not make students mentally ill, as there are also programs and lessons that can help students and give them mentally support so that they are not as stressful and also to ensure their mental well-being. And also we believe that we strongly believe that gifted program can and help students, and it is beneficial in academically, as it can help students um, learn about things early, and also learn things before ordinary people, general people, and also it can help them discuss about a more challenging issues um, in their late more, and they can also learn about challenging issues that can help them contribute to their country in their later life. And also although that gifted program may cost a lot of money, but we clearly believe that it is worth it, as it helps people and as it helps children to develop their talents and use it on their country to help their contribute their country. So we think that we should win because we rebut their rebut the clear statement that gifted program will make students mentally ill, and also we believe that we have a statement that gifted program can help students contribute to their country, and it is worth to let talented students to develop their talents and learn learn before learn about their challenging questions. Thank you. So I will end my speech.
Great, I thank Op Reply for that fine speech. I now invite final speech of the House, Proposition Reply.
A second, if you please. I just need to arrange my documents. Am I audible? Chair,
Yep, loud and clear.
I'm audible.
Yes, you are. Please go ahead.
Okay, thank you very much, Chair. Chair, I know I've been talking a lot about pressure for students, but the real under pressure are side opposition who have failed to fulfill their burdens, recognize the problem, and not even consider in their case. Firstly, we have fulfilled our burdens. We have stated all the points. We have done and executed our burden very well. Unlike Chair, note that the lack of engagement on side opposition, we have given POIs that didn't even accept, they didn't even care to answer. This shows that they are not even confident with their own case. We have stated all about pressure, performance, isolation, and how classes between smart and average students may affect. Just like our Prime Minister has stated out examples such as young Sheldon, this proves that we know what is happening in this debate. This proves that we know we are doing everything to fulfill our burden. We have clearly taken down all their points while they have not touched our points. Their rebuttals were not useful. Their rebuttals didn't take down any points. This shows again that they have lack of engagement. Now I will weigh out the debate. On our side, we allow kids to better socialize with their friends. They will be able to be less awkward when they talk with their friends. It shows that they are not just only in their books, their heads aren't in their books, their heads are also in the social levels of our world. They are not just, oh, I'm studying, I cannot do anything else, I have pressure, I have to do everything. We have clearly shown exactly why we prove and we take this clash. Chair, this is exactly why we at side government win this debate. I am very proud to propose. With this, I shall end my speech. Chair.
Great, I thank Prop Reply for that fine speech. Give me around 10 minutes. I'll be back with feedback